वतन के नौजवान शहीद हो, पुकारते हैं ये ज़मीन व आसमां शहीद हो, पुकारते हैं ये ज़मीन व आसमां शहीद हो। वतन की राह में वतन के नौजवान शहीद हो।
Kerala Social Centre presents just before independence.
Of our independence. On this occasion, Second World War had certain immediate effects on the course of the Indian freedom struggle. Britain had been forced to change their attitude towards the Indian subjects and hang on to their Indian empire. They realized themselves the need for meaningful discussions with the Indian National Congress leaders and others. Lord Wavell was appointed as the Viceroy. Mahatma Gandhi was released from the jail on May 6, 1944. Followed by the release of the working committee members of the Indian National Congress.
Jawaharlal Nehru ki, Jawaharlal Nehru ki, Sardar Patel ki, Sardar Patel ki, Muhammad Ali Jinnah ki, Muhammad Ali Jinnah ki, Maulana Azad ki, Maulana Azad ki, Bharat Mata ki, Mahatma Gandhi ki, Mahatma Gandhi ki.
The similar conference was called to discuss the formation of the Executive Committee for the Viceroy's Administrative Council. Different opinions emerged with regard to the selection of Muslim members to the Executive Committee.
I flatly reject this idea. Muslim members should be selected by us. There is no other option.
It should not be the privilege of any particular group. Any recognized body can name the Muslim members to the council. Nobody can claim the monopoly of them.
The inevitable happened. Similar conference failed, even after 100 years of the first revolt of independence. The British mentality and approaches towards their Indian subjects remained unchanged. British India witnessed revolts of different types, but the historic naval revolt of 20th February 1945 was totally a different one. It immensely contributed to the spirit of freedom and enhanced enthusiasm among Indians. The revolt occurred due to prejudices of different kinds practiced by the British masters. We now take you to warship HMIS Vajrajit Talwar.
Captain, even dogs will not follow this. We are also human beings. We cannot afford this kind of treatment anymore.
Eat or swallow. Beggars shouldn't worry about taste or flavor. Get lost, you stupid bloody Indians!
Bharat Mata ki! Bharat Mata ki! Down, down, British Raj! Down, down, British Raj! Bharat Mata ki! Bharat Mata ki! Bharat Mata ki! Down, down, British Raj! Down, down, British Raj! Bharat Mata ki! Bharat Mata ki! Down, down, British Raj! Down, down, British Raj! Bharat Mata ki! Bharat Mata ki! Bharat Mata
Sardar Patel and Muhammad Ali Jinnah urged the revolters to withdraw.
We surrender before the people of India. But we will never surrender before these foreign masters.
Naval revolt failed, but it had left a real spirit of freedom struggle among Indians. At last, the imperial rulers understood that their days in India are numbered. The political changes in Britain accelerated the pace of attainment of freedom. The new Prime Minister, Clement Attlee, said, "It's better we leave India early than they send us back." Steps were taken. First, the Parliamentary Committee, and then the Cabinet Mission under the leadership of Sir Stafford Cripps. Well, gentlemen, the future India will be a union of British India and 600 or more small kingdoms, and ruled by a cabinet inclusive of representatives of the British India and the kingdoms.
This is quite unacceptable because there is no mention of complete freedom and a constitution. Indians have the ability and right to make a constitution. Unfortunately, suggestions made by Sir Cripps are devoid of them.
The Constituent Assembly should be of an undivided India, not of a divided India. Transfer of power should be to the hands of the Assembly.
Impossible. Formation of Pakistan by joining the Muslim majority regions is the only solution for a smooth transfer of power. We decline to join the interim government.
Mahatma Gandhi made a suggestion in this situation. Let Jinnah be the Prime Minister of the interim government. But Congress rejected the idea. The interim government was formed with Jawaharlal Nehru as Prime Minister, without any Muslim League nominees. Nehru was delegated to compromise with Jinnah. Both of them met in Bombay. However, Nehru had to return empty-handed. The immediate outcome was one of the worst communal riots the world had ever witnessed. British government and the state governments had not taken even a single action to prevent the riots from spreading. The statesman reporter Kim Krishner reported like this: I have witnessed terrific wars between empires and withered dead bodies around battlefields, but nothing horrifying than this. The Mahatma was disturbed. He said, we are only within an arm's reach of freedom and awaiting the auspicious occasion of opening the gates of paradise. But we are the most unfortunates. After the riot, the Muslim League joined the ministry. Their ministers, however, followed a negative attitude and were not ready for collective responsibility of the cabinet. The British government was happy with the developments since their intention was to divide the country communally. They had used yet another weapon against India. They promised the kings of the 600 kingdoms that they could stand independently, or they can join either India or Pakistan if India is divided.
कोई है? आइए आइए उधमपुर का महाराज, आइए। क्या बात है?
कुछ सुना?
क्या? नहीं, हमने कुछ नहीं सुना। क्या बात है, बोलो।
Kashmir, Hyderabad and Travancore were in the forefront to form their own independent states. The popular revolt, led by the revolutionary and progressive forces of Indian freedom struggle, paved the way for Travancore joining the Union. The popular upheaval is known as Punnapura Vayalar Revolt. Don't worry, we will make it. Travancore will be an independent state and we will follow the American model.
Model. Sir, CP. American model. American model. Sir, CP. Sir, CP. American model. American model. Sir, CP. Sir, CP. American model.
On 20th of February 1947, Clement Attlee made a historic declaration in the British Parliament. We hereby declare our decision to transfer the reins of power to a center of power in accordance with the Constitution approved by the political parties in India. Unfortunately, there do not exist such a center of power in India. The declaration was well received by the Congress as well as the Muslim League. Congress invited Muslim League for a discussion, but the latter refused. Lord Mountbatten was appointed as the new Viceroy. He started discussions with the leaders of different political parties in India. The adamant stand of advocates of partition and ever-increasing communal riots forced Congress to accept partition. On 18th of July 1947, His Majesty King George VI approved the Indian Independence Act. The session was one of the shortest and most simple in the constitutional history of Great Britain.
Le river Liway.
Finally, it happened. Nearly 2 centuries of British rule ended. The climax was one of the most disappointing moments of history. Those who dreamt of an undivided India were frustrated. 2 nations came into being. Was it a historical necessity? No. Partition was the ultimate result of colonial conspiracy and vested interests embracing each other. The ultimate sufferers are the common people who know only to love and want to be loved. And it's a historical fact that all such conspiracies and plots are aimed at the common man, the makers of history and civilization.
Epilogue. Victorious we are now, but we cannot sit idle on the laurels of victory. We should be vigilant. The nation is passing through a crucial phase of history. Unity and integrity should be kept at all costs. Let the emerging emerging generation and the posterity realize that our national flag flies over the highest of the peaks, unhindered, uninterrupted,